just a warning, because if you come here with a stiff, rigid attitude, it's not going to work out. And I want to save you that time of moving your stuff here, finding a place, trying to fit into a community, because you're not going to like it if you're not flexible and if you're rigid. Well, good morning. It's your one and only Filipino Santa, posing as a Mexican here in Mexico, dressed in Peruvian gear. I know, a lot of conflict going on right now this morning, but I wanted to share a couple things with you. The view in front of me, and also things that I've noticed about where my videos are headed and seeing if that's something that you would like to see. So, kind of want to get your opinion on something. I've been watching a lot of other videos on Guanajuato and Mexico in general, and I realized a lot of those people are basically passing through. So you're getting information on places here in Mexico, maybe even Guanajuato, from people who haven't been here that long, or who are passing through, or maybe passing for a few months for whatever reason that they're here. And I realized there's one thing I have that others who are talking about Guanajuato or Mexico don't have, and that's longevity. I've been here for multiple seasons, lots of different changes in the city, and I think what I can offer, and let me know if this is something that you want to know, because if not, I'll stop, is I can share with you a lot of the distinctions that people might not have thought of, or maybe people, haven't covered yet. For example, yesterday was a hot day. We're in November. And at night, what happens here is it gets pretty cold. I mean, it's still kind of chilly in the house. Some things to consider when you're considering relocating to a place like Guanajuato is that this is a Spanish colonial town, meaning the homes are built with brick and cement, and the walls are kind of thick. So inside the house in winter time when it gets cold, and again, when I say cold, I'm a tropical man. So cold to me is anything, under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But inside it gets cold. And houses here don't have central heating, and they don't have central cooling. So there's no, unless you have a little mini heater or a fireplace in your house, which this place does not have a fireplace, but we do have little mini heaters. It's not time to use it though, because you can still layer. It gets pretty chilly at night. And last night I woke up and I don't know where my sandals went. I have two dogs and I can guess which one most likely moved them, but I had to step onto a tile floor, and that was cold. So I wanted to share that if you choose to live here, be prepared that in the winter, while for a lot of people, winters here not cold at all, especially if you come from Europe or somewhere really far north or really far south, that this wouldn't be considered cold. But for people like me who don't like the cold, this is cold. And be prepared to not have central heating or central cooling, because in the summer it's the opposite way. It's so what happens in the summer, which starts around February, March, April, gets kind of hot. The beautiful thing is with cement homes and thicker walls is that it holds the cool in a little longer. But summers, and I say summers here, I guess the better way to describe it is dry season here, meaning no rain and it's just hot, dry air, is that the benefit of having a house with cement is that it gets cooler. It stays cooler a little longer. So that's a benefit, but it still gets kind of dry and hot, and a nice air conditioner sometimes or a swimming pool would be amazing. That's another thing. You would think that town like this would have a lot more swimming pools, but since this is a World UNESCO site, a World Heritage site, that I don't think a lot of homes can be commissioned or can add swimming pools because they have to keep the old, especially in the center of town. You can't really modify the buildings much. So there's not a lot of swimming pools, and there are hotels where you can get day passes to swimming pools, and I've got some pretty good connections. We've got some great connections to some hotels where, and my connections are your connections, by the way. I'll let you in on some of those secrets. I'm not going to hold anything back from you. So, but I'll make videos about that when it's time. In the meantime, I just want to let you know, while it's in my head, these distinctions and what to expect if you choose to relocate here. These are important things to know. So there's not a lot of swimming pools um, to stay cool in the dry season. So a lot of people stay inside. People still walk around town, and it's also really windy sometimes, especially the higher up the mountain you get. And sorry, I just had a brain fart just now and had to stop the camera because I found myself staring out into the distance, which I'm about to show you in just a second. But another thing I wanted to share with you while it's on my mind is that there are not very many fast food places here in Guanajuato, especially in Centro. I know there's one KFC and there's one Carl's Jr., and they're not allowed to have crazy signage. Oh, and there's a McDonald's in the outskirts of town inside of a mall called Plaza Pozuelos, and it's where the big grocery store is. It's not very hard to get to. You can walk there from the center of town, albeit uphill, or you can take the funicular. It's this cart that takes you from the ground level to the top of the mountain. It usually costs, I think, I'm not sure the last price of it because it's been a long time since I took it. Because I like to walk, I like to exercise. I can't even fake that. I can't even fake that, and I'm not gonna try. But I mostly drive up to the grocery store. But you can walk, and I am planning to walk there once again as soon as I start getting more into it. But anyway, two things before I show you the view that I'm looking at right now. As the sun starts to drift, or you can start seeing the sunlight above the mountains and into the city. But this is the room that I love to have coffee in, unless we have guests, because this is also the guest room of our house. And look at those ceilings. If you can see, look, I wish I could pan the camera up, but let me see. There it is. Look at those ceilings. There are homes here. This is pretty standard Guanajuato, Spanish colonial homes, I guess. It's called a boveda. I'm not sure how to spell it, but these are dome ceilings made of brick, and yeah, this is where our guests stay. Our bedroom is the same way, and our living room has also a boveda, and the acoustics are insane. I'm not a singer, but since I'm Filipino, I must sing once a day at least. And when I do, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but I feel like sometimes I feel like I should have been a singer in life because of these ceilings. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I think I sound pretty good. So let me show you the view now. This is what I look out of in the morning. Look at this. It's so pretty. We get a view of the mountains, and that's Guanajuato right there. Let me see if I can. Oh, there you go. There you go. I can zoom. The sun is just now rising and it's really quiet. Unless there are fireworks, which seems to be a problem for a lot of people. Like I said, this town loves to celebrate. And when they do celebrate, sometimes there are fireworks going off early morning. And when I say celebrate, they celebrate saints, especially on Sundays. They celebrate certain saints, and every little zone has a church. That's why I say there's many churches here in Guanajuato, but every little zone here has a church. And the zones, depending on whose saint it is that they're celebrating, they launch these fireworks into the sky every like 15 minutes. So sometimes there are days where you're sleeping and at like 5 in the morning. And these are not just like regular fireworks. These fireworks sound like bombs sometimes. And sometimes there are days where you're sleeping, especially if you live in the center of town, where you hear these bombs blowing up every 15 minutes. So hopefully you're an early bird and you don't mind waking up early some days, because who doesn't like walking around in Centro for a morning walk and getting a coffee at a coffee shop? There's amazing coffee shops here and an amazing coffee, local coffee. But there are those days, and you just have to roll with it. You can't be one of those people who come here and expect it to be silent or expect it to be the way it is wherever you are, because there's a certain way of living here. There's a culture here. They have their way of doing things, and I find it extremely beautiful. Not annoying, not frustrating. Maybe there are days, okay, I have to admit, I'm not an angel, even though that's my name. But there are days where I have gotten frustrated, especially when I had a lot of work to do in the morning, or I had to get up early, or I wasn't sleeping well, and then only to be woken up by a bomb firework, or a firework that sounds like a bomb. Multiple fireworks, it sounds like bombs. But that's another thing. Just have to be chill. If you choose to relocate here, you've got to be chill. You can't be too uptight. You can't expect everyone to bend to your desires and longings and ways of living. Okay? Just a warning, because if you come here with a stiff, rigid attitude, it's not going to work out. And I want to save you that time of moving your stuff here, finding a place, trying to fit into a community, because you're not going to like it if you're not flexible and if you're rigid. So that's what I have for you this morning. And I want to thank you for watching. I absolutely appreciate it. I can't believe how quickly this channel seems to be growing, because just 7 days ago, I literally had 30 subscribers. And today, I don't know how many it'll be by the time I publish this today, but I am in extreme gratitude. And let's just say I'm in extreme gratitude. It feels really good to be able to make content, and this is what I love to do. I love sharing where I am. I love sharing my lifestyle of health and the things going on in my life, the obstacles like this midlife crisis that I recently just got over after 4 years of constant daily struggle. And most of those years, I didn't even know I was in a midlife crisis. It just crept up on me. Like, that was nuts how I went through that. And I hope that, whoever's watching this, if you're going through the same thing, like midlife crisis or this desire to pick up and move and relocate, I hope you stick around this channel, because the experiences that I've had, I hope, and the solutions that I was able to create for myself, I hope will help you as well. And if you're just watching because you want to find out more about relocating to Mexico and just life, daily life in Guanajuato, please stick around too because I'm sharing it and I'm not holding anything back. And anything I can think of, like the little things that I think those big vloggers have not been able to like effectively share, the little things, the little details, how to pay your water bill, how to pay your electric bill, things like that, things that they don't know because they're travelers and they're just reporting on the beauty of Guanajuato. I'm just joking. I absolutely have high respect for those other vloggers, and I know it takes so much to create content like they do, but that's just not how I roll. I just want to be able to pick up a camera and show you exactly what I'm seeing and experiencing, and in hopes that it will help you with your relocation, with your um, um, assimilation into Mexican culture. I want to help you be able to do it successfully as I have. The communities that I'm a part of here, I'm so blessed and grateful. I'm so blessed and grateful. I love them. And I know that their love for me is real as well. Anyway, this video is long enough. You've got things to do. I do too. If you want, watch the next video that pops up on the screen. I'm making them. I'm making a lot of them. So hope you watch it and let me know your thoughts on this video. What else do you want to know? Does it the distinctions? What do you want to know? Like how to have relationships here, what the dating scene is like. Let me know all of it. Like I'll let you know. I'll let you know.